Farah Nur Izwana binti Muhammad Syafrizan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. To my panels, Dr. Junaidah binti Jailani and Cik Nur Amalina binti Hanafi. The subject of my presentation for today is acoustical performance of lecture room at Block G3 and B6, University Tun Hussein on Malaysia. Before that, I want to introduce myself. My name is Farah Nur Izwana binti Muhammad Syafrizan and my supervisor is Dr. Imedia Murniwati binti Samsudin. What is this case study about? This case study is about acoustical performance of lecture room at Block G3 and B6. From this study, you will know the effect to the lecturer and student in bad acoustical quality of lecture room, two parameters of acoustic, which is background noise and reverberation time, and I was identify the sound reduction index for wall of tested lecture room. Other than that, you also will know how to improve quality of acoustical performance in tested lecture rooms. Problem statement. There are 5 problem statements in this case study. First, bad acoustic quality. Bad acoustic quality of lecture room have interrupted the student and lecturer in the teaching learning process. With the bad acoustical quality of lecture room, the noise from inside and outside lecture room can be heard clearly. The noise can consist of many different sounds like speech, laughter, phone ringing, tones, footstep, ventilation noise, and others. Second is environment. First of all, we need to know the surrounding of the lecture room. With the higher of traffic volume, it also can interrupt the student from hearing the lecture. If the class is near to the cafeteria, it also can lead to the noise from outside the class. The noise from the student who sit near the lecture room at waiting bench is also lead to the noise environment, even when they are laughter. So the environment also lead to the problems. That is effect to the student. Higher of the noise will make the student reduce the ability to concentrate and understand the lecture easily. Other than that, if the class had a bad acoustic quality, it also can impact academic performance of student. It also lead the student get stressed during learning process. Fourth is an effect to the lecture. In a noisy environment, the lecturer have to raise up their voice so that the lecturer can easily get health problems such as sore throat and hoarseness. If the class have too bad quality, the lecturer feel uncomfortable to teach. And the last one is enclosed size of lecture room. It also can lead to problem of bad acoustic quality. For example, the higher volume of lecture room, the sound absorption will be low, so it make the classroom in a bad quality. Other than that, with the higher volume of the space, the echo of the classroom will be loud. Aims of this study is first to identify the background noise and reverberation time of the lecture rooms, and the second one is to evaluate the sound reduction index of wall between lecture room. This study was conducted in lecture room at Block G3 and B6, University Tun Hussein on Malaysia. The measure were carried out in 6 lecture room, where 4 lecture room at Block G3 and another 2 lecture room at Block B6. The parameter that I used to measure background noise using BSEN ISO T382/1 2009. For reverberation time, I refer to BSEN ISO 3382/2 2008, and for evaluate the sound reduction index of wall between lecture room, I refer to BSEN ISO 717/1 2013. The figure of the scope of study. Here is BKB1 and BKB2, where the lecture room is near to the lake, waiting bench and corridor, toilet and low traffic volume, where it can lead to the noise. To lecture room in BKE5 and BKE6, This class is near to cafeteria, corridor and waiting bench, parking area and adjacent with the toilet. So the noise from the nearest place lead to the noise. The lecture room at block B6 is BSB1 and BSB2, where the class is near to the motorcycle parking area, waiting bench and corridor, so that the noise from the outside can enter the class and interrupt the lecturing. How was this case study conducted? Get the permission from the faculty is one of the important things. I get permission to use 6 tested lecture room, and second, get permission to borrow an equipment from laboratory. After I got all the permission, I start to measure 6 tested lecture room. For the first day, I learned how to set up the equipment and how to use sound level meter. For the second day, I start at block G3, which at BKE 5 and BKE 6. I choose BKE 6 as a sources room and set up all the equipment. After that, I take the parameter of acoustic, which is background noise, reverberation time, L1 and at sources room, and L2 at receiver rooms, where L1 and L2 for sound reduction index. Then I move the equipment at receiver room to take the reading for background noise and reverberation time parameter. For third day, I measure at BKB1 and BKB2. BKB1 as sources room and BKB2 as receiver room, and I repeat with the same step as day 2. Lecture room BSB1 and BSB2 as the last day, and I repeat the same step. And make sure the day to take measurement is on good weather, because when rainy day, it can interrupt the reading and parameters. After finish take all the parameter, I went to meet with supervisor and discuss about the data analysis. After that, I determine all the parameter by plotting the graph and make the conclusion from the result based on the recommended value. The picture of how I set up the equipment in tested lecture room. Picture 1 is at BKB, picture 2 is at BKE, picture 3 and 4 is at BSB. This is the illustration of how I set up all the equipment in sources room and receiver room. There are 3 results of parameter that I need to calculate. First, background noise. Second is reverberation time, and third is evaluate sound reduction index between wall partition. As on the graph at BK5 and BK6, it shows the dissimilarity of background noise with different frequency. From the graph, it shows that the background noise level at BK6 is slightly higher than BK5 due to its location. Lecture room at BKE6 is near to cafeteria, toilet and walkway at level 2. Illustration of lecture room at BKE5 and BKE6, where it located near to the road, cafeteria, corridor, toilet and parking area. From the graph, it shows the lecture room BKB1 and BKB2 is moderately lower and then slightly higher at range 1000 Hz to 2000 Hz because of the existence of the surrounding peak background noise that came from birds, so that this can cause the sudden increase on the graph at 1250 Hz at BKB2 during measurement. Show an illustration of the lecture room BKB1 and BKB2. The lecture are near to the lake, corridor, waiting bench, and main road, where it can lead to the noise during peak hour. From this graph, it shows that lecture room BSB2 is higher than BSB1 because BSB2 is located near to the parking area. So in illustration of major lecture room at block B6, where the class is surrounded with corridor, other lecture rooms, road and parking area. reverberation times at block BKE. Based on the graph, it shows the data at BKE 5 and BKE 6 is still in recommended value, which at range between 0.4 second and 1.2 second. Next is reverberation time at BKB 1 and BKB 2. Compared to the lecture room, BKB 1 and BKB 2 was lower than at block BKE. This is because at lecture room, BKB 1 and BKB 2 are using cushion chair for all the student and lecturer. So, the reverberation time is at reach recommended value. From the graph, reverberation time at BSB 1 and BSB 2 show the highest value of the sound decay in both lecture rooms. This is because of the circumstance inside the lecture rooms had very poor sound absorption. Besides, the volume of this lecture room is highest than at block BKE and BKB, which this block is 441 meter cube. This figure is presented the sound level pressure of major lecture room. Difference of sound pressure level between sources room and receiver room was an important parameter to determine sound reduction index for wall partition. Lecture room at BKE 6, BKB 1 and BSB 2 are set as sources room, while BKE 5, BKB 2 and BSB 1 as receiver room. Sound pressure level at sources room almost at the same level. This shows the sound pressure level for the receiver room depends on insulation of the wall partition. From the graph, receiver room in BSB 1 is at the middle of the graph where it far from the other receiver rooms. That is because the wall partition is not sealed very well compared to BKB 2 and BKE 5. So, the receiver room can hear the sound from sources room clearly. From this table, it shows the result of sound reduction index for wall partition at major lecture room. Sound reduction index at BKE is 29.27 dB, BKB is 29.58 dB, at BSB is 16.39 dB, where the value of sound reduction index for lecture room BKE and BKB were higher than recommended value, and at BSB 1 and 2 is lower than recommended value. Recommended value by Laman Kusa 2000 for normal speech can be heard easily is 25 dB, where the result from BKE and BKB is higher than recommended value, so it considered as good sound insulation compared to the lecture room at BSB was less than 25 dB, so it considered as bad sound insulation. I can conclude that the background noise for all the lecture room is at the poor condition because it exceeds 35 dB. It showed that the lecture room had the poor acoustic performance, and this may cause of less concentration during teaching learning process. For the reverberation time, lecture room at block G3 is considered as okay because it at range 0.4 second to 1.2 second refer to recommended value. Compared to lecture room block B6, the reverberation time is higher. High reverberation time causes unwanted reflected sound inside lecture room. The reflected sound lower down the speech intelligibility, which causes students hard to listen clearly and understood the speech from the lecture. Lastly is sound reduction index of wall partition. Lecture room at block G3 were higher than 25 dB and it considered as good sound insulation, while lecture room at block B6 considered as bad sound insulation material which represented normal speech from next lecture room, could be heard easily. Recommendation is compulsory to improve the poor acoustic performance of texted lecture room. The background noise inside lecture room come from the toilet adjacent lecture room and waiting bench. To overcome this noise from hearing, add any sponge or fabric at every edge of door and window to prevent the outside sound enter the lecture room during lecturing. Most effective to improve the reverberation time inside lecture room is adding sound absorption materials such as cushion with friendly fabricated or any egg tray covered with cotton and fabric. For sound reduction index, it recommended to use another type of partition such as wall concrete and add seal on existing wall partition to avoid the noise from entering the lecture room. That's all. I hope that my presentation today will help you understand the topic of my final year project, which is acoustical performance in lecture room at Block G3 and B6, University Tun Hussein on Malaysia. I'm looking forward from all of you. Thank you.